moved out of your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Here you go. Boom.
Yo, what's good, Tom?
Yeah, what's good, Dougie?
Yo, I'm hearing some crazy things right now in my stream.
Bro, what are you hearing, bro? Talk to me, man. I've been hearing crazy things for a fucking week now.
So I'm hearing that you need a therapy session and you're going to fire Benjay Nassim.
I need a therapy session. That's what you heard from your live stream,
That's
bro?
how wild they are. They're out of pocket, dude.
Right, go live today and everybody's spamming in my chat, tactical rap video, because this guy Ben just goes off on stream, starts spewing, bro. Just starts spewing. Dog, let me ask you something. Do you think I care about the flank?
Of course you do.
Well, apparently I don't. To some Redditors and people in chat and the way Ben was talking, apparently I don't care about it because we haven't been running weekly episodes. Doug, there's not really much to talk about, bro. There's not much to talk about. And when we sit down at the table and we look, we don't really know what to talk about. We can obviously stretch the show into different areas, right? Do a Halo show or do like a Warzone thing or do other stuff. But I don't think a lot of people want to watch that. I don't think that's where like the base of the flank started. I think the base of the flank started from competitive COD. You know what I mean? So like I feel like sometimes we're not seeing eye to eye and shit, and then he goes on stream and just starts fucking yapping. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking starts yapping, starts fucking bickering, saying I don't care about this, don't care about that, don't care about this or that, yada yada yada. Like, bro, Doug, I care more than anybody about the show. Like, I want good quality shows. And then when I say this, whenever I say I want to have good quality shows, people say, oh, you guys just scream at each other anyway. Hey, Doug, on the flank, do we just scream at each other? Like, I don't understand. Like, do we just fucking yell at each other from start to finish? Like, I'm so confused. Do we do that? Like, obviously, yes, we yell at each other sometimes, Doug, and people get into it. But is that not also the beauty of the show? Like, the passion, like, the different opinions, the arguments? Is that not, like, the beauty of it, too? Like, what do people want us to sit there fucking monotone as fuck and just like every other podcast? Like, I don't understand. What do they want us to do?
I think that they're going to be spoiled no matter what you do. If you give them everything they want, they're still going to find something to complain about. You could take a 2-month hiatus and not even turn your Twitch stream on for the next 2 months. And then the next thing you could do could be a flank stream when you could not even go as far to not even cover the new rosters. Like you got Charlotte, right? They're going to make a team. I'm sure you're going to do a flank on that. You got, what's the other one too? There's LAG, Charlotte. What's the 3 teams? LAG, Charlotte, and there's one more team that.
Yeah, and we are doing a flank on that. We are. When that shit happens, we're going to do flanks on that.
Though. So before that happens, you're trying to fill time, and then you don't want to dilute your show and then make the show something it's not.
Exactly.
And then the people are going to be like, I'm bored. The show fell off. It sucks. It sucks.
Exactly. It's exactly, Doug. Exactly. That's why in this time now, this opportunity, I'm trying to focus on other content, right? Like throwback tournaments. Or just playing different games, right? Doug, during the season, I don't get to play games. I don't get to do a lot of stuff because I'm watch partying and doing shows. And by that time, fucking 10 hours is gone. You know what I mean? Like,
and you're the head guy at the show, too. Like, Aches is on your show, and he's there basically the whole time, right? Like, with you in terms of the time? Like, you both are spending the same amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, listen, people have their complaints about Pat, whatever. Ben has his complaints about Pat, whatever. For me, I just tell the co-host, just be there at the start of the show to the end of the show. Just be there for the show. It's what they get paid for. They get paid to be on the show. Just make sure you're on the show and also watch the games. I think Ben gets mad at Pat because sometimes he doesn't watch the games, which is fair. Like, I tell Pat all the time, too, like, you got to watch the games. Pat doesn't give a fuck about anything unless it's the top 4 teams, which is why.
Yeah, Pat just cares about winning, and he only cares about who's number 1. He doesn't care about anything else. Like, that's how he's always been with everything. So
right,
that's how he is. But Pat, even with Pat though, because he would do the flank with you every week, and then he would do the reverse sweep with me at night after the flank. And he didn't make excuses. He didn't cry about it. He didn't say anything. But I could definitely tell that he put a lot of time and effort into managing everything he was doing, you know, because he would do the show with me last after doing the flank with you, after doing his full-time job during the day. And he never complained. He never pushed anything onto you or his job. He would get it done. But you could tell that he was definitely getting burnt out because of the amount of hours he put into it. So I think for you, Tom, you got to enjoy your life while you have time to do it, because you know when that season starts, just like as the players, you got to cover it equally with the media and the content. So
right, and
you know it better than everyone else.
And that's why I don't understand. Like, bro, first of all, we can look at every other podcast in the space, bro. There's a ton of them. There's a bunch of them. We've done more than all of them in the off season. We've done more shows than every other fucking podcast in the off season. We've done more shows than anybody, Doug, because there's nothing to talk about. Nobody's doing anything, Doug, because there's nothing going on. There's nothing happening in the competitive space. The off season is always the perfect time for me, Doug, to focus on other things, to do other shit. And if Ben has ideas that he wants to do, he is more than free to make his own content and do his own content. He doesn't always have to just wait for me to do shit and to just fucking piggyback off of that. He could do his own shit. You know what I mean, Doug? He could do his own content.
Well, that was the thing as a creator that motivated me. Just speaking for me, I think everyone in this chat, on my stream and your stream and you and Ben and anyone, like, I joined FaZe back 10 years back, and I knew that if I associated with the guys and I'm doing things with them, I'm getting more views, right? Like, that's just the way it's going to be because they bring the views. So what is bringing the views here? The flank. I also knew that I had to do something outside of FaZe and outside of, I can't be defined by one thing. That was the thing that I was always trying to tell myself. I can't just rely on FaZe Clan or my ex-girlfriend making videos with her. I got to figure out something else I got to do for myself to justify my time so that I'm not just pushing something onto other people all the time.
If somebody told me to join your call on my stream, what's up?
And bro, obviously, I love the flank and want to run more episodes. We just need to come out like Chris, what you put in the DM, right? Like from Reddit and shit. Like that was a good idea for an episode. Like we could do that. You know what I mean? Like if we're bringing good ideas to the table of different things that we could do for episodes, sure. Mm-hmm. But when somebody brings me ideas to the table that we've already talked about, we're not going to drag shit that we've already talked about over and over and over again. We're not going to do that. The quality in the show is going to go down. And yes, quality. I said quality. Because people are going to be like, oh, you guys just scream at each other anyway. Yada, yada, yada. Like, whatever, bro. Whatever you guys think. Whatever you guys say.
Dude, also, I seen some faded takes on Reddit. I didn't acknowledge them. I just kind of posted, like, some of the good ideas that they said. But
listen, bro, I don't want to attack Reddit.
No, we're not.
There's good people on Reddit. There's bad people on Reddit. There's a whole bunch of shit going on Reddit, bro.
There's a misconception about the show. The way you made the show was it's like a casual talk show where people can come on and freely express their ideas and we can discuss things in a more laid back manner. This isn't it's not like a super professional fucking scripted like type of shit. Like I don't think you ever intended that to be that.
No, I don't want it to be like that. That's not how I want to keep it how it is. I want to.
And that's why I think there's some disconnect here, even with Ben. Ben wants to run more shows. I don't think we should run more shows. I think if you want to expand content, we need to do separate content that is like with the flank co-hosts. So it's not like an actual show. It's more like content with the people from the show where we can do stuff that isn't directly involved with the stuff we would normally talk about on the show. Because I think the show being about the CDL and like main issues in like anything encompassing actual CDL is cool. But if we want to like dive into old shit like CWL stuff or do separate content that's like related to like just the game in general without actually diving into CDL topics, I think we can do that.
I'm down. I'm down for sure. I'm down to do that. And that's the thing is like, I say all the time, I'm down to run shows. I'm down to run flanks like all the fucking time. If we just need to come up with good ideas to fucking actually do it, like you just said. Yeah. But also, so far, everything that's been brought to me is not good enough, bro. It's not good, bro. It's not.
Ben took it upon himself to be the quote unquote executive producer. To my understanding, like with the reverse sweep, James was our producer, and James is the person that came up with the ideas of what we would talk about. Eventually, we kind of went away from just talking about matches and talking about the weeks of the CDL. We still touched on them a little bit. We started doing more open-ended shows with like podcasty questions, and he's the one that came up with those ideas. I didn't realize it was up to me or like even Pat or you or whatever to like always come up with the ideas, especially if Ben is so insistent on doing so. If Ben is insistent on doing so, he needs to start coming up with topics, not saying, "Oh, we'll figure it out." Like, okay, then figure it out.
His topics are a bunch of topics we've already talked about. Those are his topics. Every time he
bro, that guy on Reddit that I showed you the good ideas of, hire his ass. That guy came up with some good ass stuff.
Those are good ideas, bro. Like, there's been some good ideas on Reddit for sure, bro. There's definitely been some good ideas over there, and like I'm seeing them, and we can do them. You know what I mean? Like we can do shows. But bro, it's also the off season, man. Like this is a good time for me to focus on other content too. Like I've said that before. Like it's not like it's the first time I haven't said that. And Ben can do that too.
Do you watch other talk shows in sports? You know, like First Take and Undisputed, and like something that's comparable to you, but just in a different category that's not Call of Duty. So when I watch those, I'm really big into those. Like I watch those more than I watch. Like I play the game, I study the game, and then I watch sports talk show stuff a lot. And what I noticed throughout the years, whenever it's in the off season for basketball or football, there's not much to talk about in those shows. It's the same problem that you have as well. It's a good problem to have because you're the number one talk show host in Call of Duty for the most part, right? Like I think you guys are doing a great job. And during an off season, it's just as simple as what's this, what I need to know. We all seem to be on the same page, but what is the disconnect with Ben that makes it so that it's quality over quantity. He understands that. He's smart. So I don't understand why there's that much of a disconnect
I don't
in the
know.
offseason.
I talked to Bennett today, this morning. We were on a call, and I was like, bro, why don't you just call me on the phone? And he just doesn't say anything. I'm like, bro, just call me on the phone. Like, and he's like, it's just an execution thing. And I was like, well, bro, call me on the phone. Like, why do I got to wake up and look at clips of you on stream? Like, Doug, you shouldn't be putting business like that. Like, especially if we haven't even talked about it yet. Like, certain things, like, just call me. Like, what do you want to do? Like, what are your ideas? Like, what the fuck? Because any ideas that Ben has called me with, we've talked about already. So I'm like, Ben, listen, I hear you. I want to do more shows. This is how I talk to him. I'm like, yo, I hear you. I want to do more shows. But yo, we already talked about all this shit, bro. Like, this is not. I feel like it's just the quality in the show is gonna go down. People are gonna tune in. There's gonna be stuff we already kind of talked about, and we're gonna kind of go in circles, and it's just not gonna be a good show. Like,